The question we are posing is, how big a price will America pay for the egregious, gratuitous offence to the People's Republic of China by the visit of Nancy Pelosi, the third most important person in the American state? I know it's hard to believe, but it happens to be true. After President Biden, Kamala Harris, comes Nancy Pelosi. Therefore, offending not just the international legal principle of one China, agreed by virtually every government in the whole world to be their own policy, but offending the national integrity, the national sense of themselves, of 1.5 billion Chinese people, and many more around the world. This was a slap in the face to China. No one should be in any doubt about that. China responded verbally, rhetorically, in the fiercest possible terms, especially before the fact. The president of China, Xi Jinping, said that he who plays with fire runs the risk of being burned. In the end, the only thing that was burned was the marine life around Taiwan, because China's onshore batteries fired many a salvo, that's for sure, but all of them landing harmlessly in the sea. That might not be true when the American fleet arrives in the Taiwan Straits. This is, if you like, a double slap for China from the United States. I was just recalling what we call the Amethyst Incident and what the Chinese call the Yangtze Incident in 1949, when the British warship Amethyst was sunk by the batteries on shore of the People's Liberation Army and the Red Navy in its first real international encounter, dealt swiftly with the British assault to the sovereignty of China by the sailing of a Royal Navy warship down the Yangtze. Well, maybe this will happen again, but probably not. China may well have decided that revenge is a dish best eaten cold. And if so, they have many tools with which to lever it. The Chinese economy, already the biggest manufacturing economy in the whole world, soon the biggest economy in the whole world, maybe even now, but not admitted. China is moving on up, whilst Europe and North America is sinking further down, not least because China is in no way involved in the economic warfare launched by Western countries against Russia over the Ukraine. China is building roads, highways, railways, airports, infrastructure of all kinds all over the world, not just in Africa, but Africa is the one the Americans perhaps fear most. The United States is building nothing at all, can build nothing at all, even in its own country. Its own infrastructure, bridges, roads, all kinds of civilian infrastructure is crumbling, often dangerously, while China goes from strength to strength, building super fast railways and the super fast broadband that comes in its wake. The future, therefore, belongs to China, not the United States. But what if the United States is prepared to gamble all on breaking China before it overtakes it? That is a question that occupies many people. Undoubtedly, many people were sorry to see Nancy Pelosi land somewhat unsteadily on her feet without being intercepted when she could actually have been. But it would have provoked a real international crisis, perhaps a military one. Pelosi was accompanied by a fleet of American warplanes coming from their bases in Japan. Any attempt to interdict the flight might well have led to a military collision between two nuclear-armed superpowers. The United States evidently was ready for that. China evidently was not ready for that, or perhaps was merely postponing the date. What price, then, will the United States pay for this latest insult to China and the latest breach of the One China policy? Well, at the moment, they look to be purely economic. Chinese investment in the United States economy, well, slow, may even be put on hold, may be scrapped altogether. China may decide to dump some of the United States debt and currency that it owns, more dollars, in fact, than the United States Treasury holds. But as the United States Treasury is based only on a printing press and nothing else, they could always run off more dollars, I'm sure. But China can affect the value of the dollar, can affect the value of American bonds in the bond market. It can do many things. But these two behemoths are surprisingly interdependent. The US cannot really afford, unless it's going to go to all-out war, a breach with China. And China perhaps cannot really afford, short of nuclear war, a whole breach with the United States. I'm surrounded by experts of different political stripes, and let me introduce them to you now.